Hi. We'll continue with our readings today. I'm going to do the next section. It takes about a little over half of the page. It would be more, I think, meaningful to do it section by section as opposed to just sticking with paragraph delineation. It's consistent this way. But before we get to the topic at hand, I just want to acknowledge the role of distinguishing between insurance and insurance. You know, it used to be that when one went to war, there was a form of insurance that the government would provide in the course of a war declaration. At some point following the September 11th, 2001 attacks on the World Trade Center in the United States, actually very, very rapidly after those attacks, the United States passed a very comprehensive bill concerning the Terrorism Risk Insurance Program. If you have not yet had an opportunity to read about the early legislation following the September 11th attack concerning the Terrorism Risk Insurance Program, I encourage you to find what you have available and look through it. It might also behoove you to compare it with things that have been published more recently, including in consideration of congressional action in the United States, as well as considerations of what was originally the intention behind TRIP that was allowed to be privatized and particularized for other kinds of insurance today. In our future moments together, we'll go into this more. But let's just suffice to say that there's more than one understanding of insurance at work at this time. And it is important for us to ground it, including in an understanding that it is an abuse and a disservice when one characterizes something as insurance when that is not at all what it is. Air power, when developed to its full potential, made a profound impact on war at sea as well as on land. In 1941 and 1942, the Japanese showed in Southeast Asia and the Pacific what could be attempted with superior sea and air power. At Pearl Harbor on 7th December 1941, they revealed the tremendous offensive power of a carrier task force, launching over 300 aircraft, which sank most of the battleships of the U.S. Pacific Fleet in water considered by the Americans to be too shallow for the use of aerial torpedoes. Shortly afterwards, Japanese land-based aircraft sank the British battleship Prince of Wales and the battlecruiser Repulse off the coast of Malaya. In 1942, two naval battles were fought between American and Japanese naval forces, which clearly demonstrated the dominant role of air power in modern naval warfare. The first was in the Coral Sea, between 4th and 8th May, when the U.S. fleet foiled the Japanese amphibious attack on Port Moresby and removed the threat to Australia. The second was off Midway Island between 3rd and 6th June. The U.S. Navy had broken the Japanese code and was fully prepared to meet a powerful enemy, concentration both north and southwest of Midway. These two naval battles, both resulting in crippling Japanese losses, marked the real turning point of the war against Japan. The action in the Coral Sea was remarkable as being the first naval battle in which the opposing warships never once sighted each other. Not one direct shot was exchanged. In war on land, the advent of the aeroplane enabled commanders to see the other side of the hill. As air power grew and developed, it was able to prevent movement in daylight to any appreciable degree, so much that it became necessary to gain mastery in the air before beginning a land battle. The mighty weapon of air power enabled armies to win victories more quickly than before, and to win them with fewer casualties than would otherwise have been the case. And to add to it all. Air bombing could carry war deep into the heart of the opponent's homelands, causing heavy civilian casualties and tremendous damage to property on the home front, with a cumulative adverse effect on the war effort of the nation so attacked.